pushed the door open for him and finally got a glimpse of his face. Smallish eyes, thick brows, and dark, floppy hair. Plus, a meticulously trimmed douche beard, a touch too trendy for her tastes. What a shame. He did have that nice, sweaty man smell, though. God, it had been too long. "Thank you," he said, as he passed through the door into the tiny hallway, leaving his bike outside. "I'm not sure I could have managed that on my own." Mystery Man had a British accent and a deep, almost aristocratic voice. Totally unexpected. He put down the case of beer in front of the door across from hers and took a key out of his pocket before turning to Reena. He stared wide-eyed for several seconds before speaking. "Oh, shit. It's you. You're my neighbor. You live here," he said, pointing toward her door. "Yes. Why?" "You're the one." Dark brows raised as his mouth widened to a grin. "The goddess who makes my apartment smell like a bloody French boulangerie." Reena's eyes widened. Goddess? She'd been called elfish, pixie, and even a sprite once by a Renaissance fair-type boyfriend, but Reena Manji was never a goddess. "It's driving me fucking mad," Sexy Voice continued, tilting his head and winking. Kind of flirty, this one. Reena reassessed her first impression of his face. When he was smiling, his dark eyes sparkled under the fluorescent lights of the narrow hallway, and his lips looked wide and expressive. And that voice, kind of swoony. Couple that with the impressive physique, and Reena started to think today was looking better. Nothing like a little British Isles to spice up this building. Some fun, flirty banter with a sexy Brit to boost her self-esteem each day. Plus, he liked the smell of her bread. Double swoon. And, she glanced at his hand resting casually on his doorknob, he appeared single. No ring. "Thank you," Reena beamed. "Baking bread is my hobby. I'll bring you some one day. I have to head out now, but nice meeting you, neighbor." "The pleasure's all mine." That charming smile again. White, straight teeth, and a dimple on his left cheek. Mr. Uninspiring quickly advanced to Mr. Pretty Damn Hot. He should never stop talking with that voice, or smiling with those teeth. Thankfully, he hadn't yet. "I'd love to take you out for a pint if you'll share any extra baked goods lying around. Are you free tonight? I'm Nadim." He held out his right hand to shake. Ooh, did he just ask her out? "I'm Reena." She shook his hand, taking note of his firm, confident grip. Nothing worse than a weak handshake. A moment into their handshake, however, Nadim's face fell. His smile dissolved, and furrowed lines appeared on his forehead. What the hell? Eyeing her intently, he snatched back his hand and ran it through his sweaty hair. "Bollocks," he whispered. "You're Reena Manji?" She spoke slowly. "Yes?" "Aziz Manji's daughter?" "Obviously." "Yes. Why?" "Fuck. You live here?" He tugged at the back of his neck. Finally meeting her eyes again, he smiled sheepishly. "I've made a terrible first impression. Any chance we could start over?" Her eyes widened. "Forget all my swearing, and pretend I'm showered and dressed respectably. I had this suit picked out for our first meeting," he continued, "and my hair was supposed to be clean. Also, you didn't see that beer, and I didn't call you a goddess, although I meant it." His voice trailed off, losing power as he seemed to shrink in the hallway. "Why? How do you know my father?" He smiled again, but this time the smile looked forced. It didn't quite reach his eyes. "I am here in Canada to work for him," he sighed. "Your father and my father just entered a business partnership together.